What is up, Packers fans? I am Matty Day. Somewhere off camera over there is my man Tommy Burns. Tommy, holler at the people.
Hey!
You might be wondering why Tommy is off camera. Well, we've been trying to tinker with our format a little bit, our production schedule, get things a little more ramped up. We have switched to sort of a live edit, a no-huddle edit, if you will. And Tommy is actually editing this one live. Isn't that right, Tommy?
Let's do it.
So here we go. I mean, we got a lot to go on tonight. We're going to just touch on the basics. We got a terrific Kansas City victory to recount, and we're going to talk about the Packers offense, Packers defense, touch on special teams, and eventually get going toward San Francisco. That being said, I mean, here we are in front of Lambeau. Once again, we are live from Stadium. Okay. Sorry, Tommy. Did I throw you off a little bit?
Jumped a little quick. I'll get it this time. Hold on. I'll get it right.
Okay. All right. Well, if you just punch me back in, I'll just. Okay. So, all right. So we are recounting a wonderful Packers victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. We're gonna touch on the Packers offense, Packers defense, touch on special teams, and then get right into next week's game against the San Francisco 49ers. You're here with us tonight, folks, right in front of Lambeau Field, illustrious Green Bay. We are live from Stadium.
Oh, I'm sorry. Went a little early. I thought you were going there. I thought I had it. Sorry. Let's re-rack it. Do it again.
All right, man. I got you there. I wasn't even trying. Why don't we just punch this in right on the title? I'll just say the name of the show. And you punch us in on that, okay? So
good.
We'll get the rest of it.
Got it.
All right. So live from Stadium, live from Stadium, live from Stadium, live from Stadium.
God damn it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. Let me get this back.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I swear to God, we'll get this. Just one more time. Let's
Fuck
just
that,
do it
man.
real
I got
clean.
you bad, Burns. You live from Stadium Drive.
I feel there's been a lot of talk about bullies and bully prevention, and Aaron is just kind of being a bully at this point because he's just being nasty. I mean, it's just not something you usually prepare for. It's not something you've seen. Yeah, there's been the little calls off in this about catching teams off in this. It's kind of lucky if you do, and usually it's a couple things I was saying, but it's just he's not even giving them a chance. He's just taking their lunch and spitting on them straight up. It's just mean.
But bullies are so often just the brute types. I mean, like, this is a dude with the physical gifts and just like the mental game, man. Just unreal. Toward the end of the first half, where he caught the 12 men on the field, then used that hard count to draw the offsides, get the free play, and turn it into a tutty. Man, Aaron Rodgers, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the shit. I mean, there's a lot of talk comparing him to, like, Scott Tolzien compared him to Jordan. I was much more of a Barkley fan myself, so
I know
you
did.
Yeah.
Always the contrarian. We
Yeah.
love him, but it's.
But still, enjoy the shit. We got to lead off with A-Rod because that's where this team starts, and it's incredible right now, Packers fans. How you doing tonight? I am Matty Day.
I am Tommy Burns.
We are live from Stadium Drive.
And we are enjoying watching Aaron Rodgers because we kind of talked. It's something that we can't let go for granted, and the little things are the big things that we're seeing so far in this football season. It is just a dandy to watch. McCarthy's running out of words, things to talk about him, but I mean the pre-snap mastery and just the ability, that first drive. They're like, in the beginning of that game, I think Chucky was like, Kansas City's only converted 3 first downs.
Kansas City is only...
Yeah. You want to talk Kansas City's coming in there. They only got converted 3 first downs. I tell you what, this Aaron Rodgers is something pretty special
Aaron
to watch.
Rodgers.
Yeah. But then we ripped off, like, how many first downs in a row? Not third down conversions, but just all over
chunking,
field, chunking, like you said.
Creatively,
pass,
reverse
all over
to
there.
Cobb,
Yeah.
shovel to Eddie,
And
Like,
it's not taking away from Clement's creativity or McCarthy's overall empire or our other tools or whatever, but it all starts to begin with the reads and what we're seeing and the mastery of an offense. And dude's just like laughing out there.
he's having a great time, man. Before the game, during the game. Yeah. Oh, I mean, this really wasn't one that, while the score looked a little closer than the game maybe was, this was largely the Packers game. This was a joy to watch. Neither of us were there, but it was awesome. I was watching my favorite team against what you could say is my second favorite team. And
I always like to think you have an AFC team. Growing up,
Yeah.
it was Cordell Stewart, the Steelers. You know,
Word.
it was
respectable. Another like old school AFC team.
Yeah.
Like why the fuck not? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mike McCarthy was not unlike us, heaping on praise for number 12. Maybe
in
coming
his Pittsburgh macho way, you know.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yes.
and maybe he was coming up short on some on the verbiage to even do it justice.
What can I say? I think teeth clicks are an indicator of his success. I mean, I think you could parlay that into it. Because when he's at a loss for words, if he's used so many words to describe Aaron Rodgers and then he can't think of any more words, he's going to resort to the teeth click. So the more teeth clicks you get would indicate, like in a graph, you know, geometry, numbers, and shapes and stuff.
Is it a bell curve of teeth clicks? Like, because if it's so poor of a game where he just, we're just gonna have to do a better job.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't have to see it from that point of view.
Yes.
Hopefully, not anytime soon. Aaron Rodgers continued the streak of 500 million passes at Lambeau Field without an interception.
It was close.
There was
If it
one.
weren't for the rock hands of the front D guy of Chiefs, would have dropped it. It was close. It was in
Should
his
have had
hands.
that. Should have had
Also,
that.
could have not an interception, but you know, looked like it would have probably been ruled with a fumble near the goal line, given away, called back because of a penalty. So
Word.
the streak is still intact.
That streak is still intact. On the Chiefs' side of the ball, they did successfully end one of their streaks, not a good streak, that of no touchdowns for their wide receivers since January of
Incredible.
1990 or whatever. And
It was January of 2014,
2014,
so it was so
playoffs,
close to being
man.
2013, which would have given a nice, really polished number. But
couple
anyway,
of calendar years. But Jeremy Maclin did get in the end zone. That was very gracious of the green and gold.
yes.
And that was about, we gave up a few things. We gave up a lot of garbage time points. We gave Jamal Charles the opportunity. Man, Jamal Charles and Travis Kelce, good players. Good players. What are you doing talking trash when you're losing, though? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Doing the belt? I mean, man.
It just does not reflect well upon you. Like
Lambeau leaping. He wishes he was a Packer. I don't blame him.
Yeah, no,
I don't blame
it's,
him.
It's true, dude tries hard, but like you said, garbage time and this Chiefs offense and what they're built for, okay, what they're able to do late. But we talked about this before, cliche, best defense is a good offense, but we put them in such a hole. We were able to pin our ears back, but that's what gets to me because Jamal Charles only carried 11 times for 49 yards on a team that has straight up run first and hasn't thrown a touchdown pass to a wide receiver for how long? So you get them out of their element, and that allows, our defensive front to do their thing. And a lot of praise to our defensive front, but I'm still just not sold yet completely.
You're not sold 7 sacks, man.
It's
Joe Thomas getting a sack out of the psycho package.
Yep.
Clay Matthews getting 2.
And what is-
J-Rone getting up in there, man. I mean, like, you had a lot of Nick Perry with a fucking sack.
And I like J-Rone, and I've been a whole lot for Nick Perry, but those names that you're mentioning, Joe Thomas, J-Rone, Nick Perry, these aren't exactly standouts. And if these guys are having an amazing game, it may be more of an indicator of the weaknesses up front that you're seeing with the Kansas City Chiefs, the
Okay.
weaknesses that we saw with the Chicago Bears and their mess of an offensive line for the past however many years, the musical chairs for the Seahawks front that we saw. We have
Okay.
not been facing a
Okay.
top-tier offensive line unit, and it makes us look great, and you can give all the credit to them if you want, but you have to look at the amount of time. And 7 sacks, yeah, that's great, but that tells me it's a terrible protection unit for
Yeah.
the Kansas City Chiefs. And It sounds like everybody's really ragging on Alex Smith, but like I think for what you expect him to be in a game, you're not expecting him to be, you know, airing out all the time. Obviously, again, the streak says that, but
Yeah.
I mean, the dude didn't have any time. Dude was just getting rocked, missing blocks completely. Guys were shooting up completely uncontested. Guys were just getting blown back. The protection is not there. So I'd like to see the Packers tested against a couple of the top tier offensive line units, and then we'll talk, because I'm trying to think of a metaphor where, you know, you can look great against, you know, something weak, but I really like metaphors. I just can't think of something right now. Yeah.
Come at us with a metaphor in the comments section.
A metaphor for the Packers excelling play against weaker offensive lines that maybe makes them look a little bit better than they are.
One of those players we didn't mention, Mike Diesel. 1.5 sacks himself. Was it 1.4, 1.6? It was 1.5.
It was on there, yeah. You round up with
dude is just like, whether he's going against like weak O-lines or not, guy is off to a monster start. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers and how you need to appreciate him like long term. Like there may never ever be a quarterback that wears the green and gold that plays this way again. There probably won't be. I'm appreciating him as if this is just like a once in a lifetime thing. Or twice if you got to grow up with Brett. But short term, soak it up, Packers fans. Mike Daniels might be pricing himself out of our range.
I
mean, he's a free agent.
Yes.
Oh, dude. I mean, he'll do what he can to keep him. But with news of the salary cap elevating, I mean, that's basically what broke off Packers negotiations with Mike Daniels earlier in this offseason. So, you know, right now we got Mike Daniels back there up front, disrupting.
Would it be not similar to what we saw with Cullen Jenkins?
That's a perfect case where it was just like we had Cullen and it was good.
It was a teammate. God, I get so much good mileage. But yes, I mean, it's something that just like, okay, you know, and you see guys like Pennell and, you know, Pennell.
It's Pennell.
Okay, we're going to go with Pennell.
Isn't it? Fuck, I always forget. Confounded. Do we need that light on? Do we need that?
Let's do a little jump. Yeah, let me flip the screen a little quick. Hit the music!
Switching sides of the field. How about that Green Bay Packers offense, T. Burns? What'd you see? What'd you like?
Beyond just what we saw Rodgers do, you saw the incredible play and awareness of Randall Cobb. I mean, yes, the 3 touchdowns explain for themselves, but that guy just to be able to have the fields. And there was just the yards after catch. I mean, we dabble on talking about it a little earlier, but the yak, I mean, you know, it's just, you know, it's something that we've seen for a long time after play. We used to, you know, heap praise on Donnie for it. We used to, you know, heap praise on
those dudes,
all those guys. But it's something, I wonder if it's something you get what you emphasize.
God, I love Mike McCarthy.
But I mean, just our ability to create lanes and the help that we have, like the illegal hands penalty. You know, another thing that Modi talked about that is maybe.
Yeah. There was some chatter going on in Kansas City. Followed up with Modi after our interview and he said that down there the pundits were talking about some sort of illegal, kind of like a basketball pick-setting play that our wide receivers were doing, and I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about until Ty Montgomery got called.
Illegal use of the hands.
And it brought one back. And speaking of, Ty Montgomery brought back down to earth in a sense. But yeah, the touchdown.
Yes, he's still just making his name known and growing pains. You expect that, but you know, it's a young cat. But 2 yards after the catch and our success and our ability to move the ball is because it's not just the people that have their ball in the hands. It's about the discipline of the offensive line and pulling, and our wide receivers who, you know, a lot of rag like on Randy Moss, like if he doesn't get the ball, dude doesn't do shit. Okay, our guys, you know, our team creates lanes, creates opportunities, heads up. It's what talked about praising Ty Montgomery for last game, coming up with a blazing block and everything, and we're just
the shit that isn't on the stats,
able to create, and that guys don't take off if they know that Aaron Rodgers, until the whistle blows, his radar is up on everything. So if a play breaks down, he's going to go to you. So we have all these parts moving, all these things churning, and that's just maybe sometimes what you see against a team like Kansas City when one or two things breaks down. They're like,
yeah.
what are we gonna do?
And with Rodgers extending plays the way that he has. One more note on Aaron Rodgers. Kansas City had not allowed a 300-yard passer in their last 22 games. Aaron does it with 333. Impressive streak. But
then we just
shattered.
Yeah.
Shattered.
Yes.
Shitty.
And then, again, it's always hard to quantify the offensive line's performance unless you want to get into raw numbers and this and that and everything they've done. But against a very talented front, an overall defense of the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, the protection, the things that we were able to do, the time. I mean, when Aaron had that almost what would have been a fumble because, was he throwing motion, was he not, or whatever. Dude was holding on to the ball for a good amount of time. I mean,
long time.
Dude had time. So it's we're just getting that protection. We're getting everything else. Josh Sitton is still always taking every opportunity he can to take his helmet off. I think that's through his agent. I think he's trying to promote facial recognition. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
The tackles, though.
Because then TJ was doing it too. Continue.
TJ was too.
Yeah.
The guards. Getting their faces out there. I was worried about the play of the tackles going into this game because you have Justin Houston and Tamba Hali, and if you could graph like my confidence in a Packers win throughout the week, it pretty much, let's see, camera, pretty much goes like this until you get to game day. I'm like all week long, I'm just like reading shit and thinking about shit and being like, oh, but they probably have the advantage here. This week was, I just worried about the raw talent on that Kansas City team. Thank you for those of you who followed along with my live Facebook extravaganza as I went through the process of whooping that pessimism. But solid play from the tackles. Bakhtiari, he's going to struggle with power. But Barclay, nice game, man.
Yeah.
Nice game, Donnie. Holy shit.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. They did exactly what they're supposed to do.
You were not out of your element, Donnie.
No, you were not. You're not. And we appreciate that. Please.
Really good game from the offense. Eddie getting worked in. Did not look like his normal bruising self, but you had James in there to carry the load. And you had a rookie in there in Alonzo Harris. First NFL carry for 16 yards, setting up a 1st and goal. How about that?
Call it a fluke if you will, but that we weren't afraid to hand off to him, and it kept on churning, and it felt like the wheels kept on turning. And then we just say, I'm kind of like, I love Eddie, big Eddie #1 fan. Comes in, tweak his ankle, obviously feeling bad. Comes back, plays. Went off the field again. Was getting looked at by trainers again because dude hides it when he's walking gingerly. Great word. But he was hurting again. He tweaked again, and they said on the broadcast he's getting looked at by trainers again. Came back in, looked at he's getting that rocked again. I mean, dude gets punished, but he's just one of those dudes. I don't know. There's just dudes that just kind of have some knack for just like shaking things off, and Eddie is just one tough son of a bitch.
I'm all right.
Is basically just like, just kind of give me a play. Let me, put some pressure on it. Just like, so much big up for a guy like that because, you see talent that maybe goes away. We're all right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We're good?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But man, just tough. And then, James get back in there, but again, the depth.
The depth, I mean, this is an early test for the Packers' depth. Devontae managed to get cleared to play this game, goes out almost right away. Devontae seen today in a boot, claims it's not a high ankle sprain, a dreaded high ankle sprain, just a regular ankle sprain, maybe even a low ankle sprain. But he's probably not going to be around for a while, nor will Andrew Corliss be. I remember I saw that play as it happened. I mean, he took a shot to the knee. Apparently it's a sprained MCL, out for at least a month.
On return IR.
Yeah, he's on that boomerang IR, not Josh Boyd. If I had said that earlier, that was the internet's fault. Fuck you, internet. Getting a lot of good chances to get some of these offensive players in early, because now you're going to have Kennard Backman, the fifth round draft pick from this year. getting in the lineup.
There was a lineup with both Ripkowski and Kuhn in the same time, and Lacey.
Dope.
It was like a straight up T formation, like we used to run in high school. It was pretty cool. I
Sweet.
mean, it was, it's bringing it back. So, but
That's heavy. That's jumbo.
But you're opening up doors. I mean, you're just allowing these guys, and Mike is always just like, we don't curtail our offensive game plan to the personnel. We run our scheme, and that's cool because he has, he's going to keep running that, and the guys they keep on the roster and plug in there, you got to imagine, because he could have just gone to other sets the entire time and avoided putting in X player, avoid putting Janice in there, who talk about, or
was it time?
Yeah, I'm just talking about players who maybe people are
talking
having
about players,
questions
huh?
about that aren't
Just talking
thinking
about
about
players,
doing
huh?
everything else, and I don't really
Jeff
know.
Janis.
They're just say, fuck.
Remember how I just said, fuck you, Internet? Fuck you, Internet, for fucking loving Jeff Janis. I mean, special teams, yes. Offense, no. He fucking drew an illegal shift, still got targeted, one target of this game, and dropped the fucking rock. There you go, Internet. I mean, maybe it'll come along. Maybe it's just about easing Jeff Janis into the game. But, seriously, chill the fuck out on Jeff Janis. Internet, he's really good on special teams, though. Which brings us to
Special teams. You know what I think? One thing we're going to call me on PC or whatever this, but I always see this on a lot of teams. I think Jeff Janis, Jordy goes down. To some people, Jeff Janis is your token white guy who you want to see do good. Just saying.
Just say it, dude. I'll fucking second that shit. Seriously. They want him, yeah. Anyway.
They want to be that, and I could care less because fucking I'll wave Montgomery's flag.
Who cares? Yeah. But on special teams, like shortly after that mini debacle on offense, am I overreacting on Jeff Janis? Am I giving him a hard time?
No, because I think it is something that, like you saw too, is he's a bit beefier and stronger. Jordy Nelson, he can,
Poor man's Jordy.
Yeah.
Nah, whatever. But he came in, I mean, dude is a gunner on special teams. And if he made the 53 based on that, that's crucial. Like, he had 2 standout tackles on special teams and fully support that. Like, fuck yeah. I mean, that's big. That's the guy. That guy who's out there, like, just dropping dudes on special teams. That's why Jeff Janis is here, people. He's not Jordy 2.0.
And you see Raleigh, you see 2-4 on there a lot of times. Always doing it on special teams. It's you can rag on it if you want, but we say tilting the field and controlling the tempo and everything, like, it's so important. And feel like you mentioned his name, RZ. I mean,
dude, Zook.
Hey.
Fine start to the year, Ron Zook.
Yeah.
Fine start.
It's a great break from the past.
Oh, goodness.
Things are working out pretty well,
Or is that the fucking guiding hand, the overseeing of McCarthy?
Interesting.
Or a little bit of
points.
column A, a little bit of column
Interesting
Z?
point, yeah. But, I mean, that's a good point about, and that was one of the things McCarthy specifically mentioned, it just, being able to step back and see the forest, not just the individual trees.
How do you feel so far? This is off script.
I was going to. Yes, I know what you're gonna say. 3 games in.
We are 3 games in, man. We can talk about this now.
Yeah.
I watched that. So the Packers start this game, go 3 and out. They come back with one of the most creative drives, just fucking glorious to watch. And that's, I mean, is that the Clements effect? Is that Clements using?
Well, I've always been one that I always believe that McCarthy stepping back wasn't so much as Clements hands-on, but a little bit more of Rodgers hands-on.
Okay.
And we know what we've seen with that. So maybe I'd like to step back and be like, between Clements and Rodgers, you can get so much of the minutia of what is going on with them, and we've seen resounding success with those two, between those two, however you want to slice it. Looking at maybe what McCarthy can put himself in on the defense, because I've always believed someone that is very offensive minded should be able to, in a way, flip that knowledge to what would I hate an offense to do in terms of a defense, and vice versa, and the special teams. And we're seeing some success. And you said column A and column B, and is it worse this or best this? But I mean, I like to think that McCarthy's oversight and even keeping players in check. Like if he's always keeping his eye on the guys on special teams and know defense, know that McCarthy's always just like keep an eye on them, and they can kind of they just have to deal with assistant coaches.
Yeah.
But then they feel Mac breathing down their neck.
For real, for real.
It's kind of like it's kind of an interesting thing. Like a guy comes off after a special teams play, and he should just be so can be like, hey, you gotta do this or whatever. But then you get off and you fuck up on special teams, and McCarthy's just like.
You just like you smell like the shrimp topped pizza breath just coming at you.
You're like, oh shit, I better get back to the bench. Freaking, I think my ankles hurt. But I'm just saying
Do you think is this hard as shit for McCarthy? Is he gonna like struggle with this? Is he gonna like try to be hands off? Because if you're gonna, like Aaron Nagler likes to say, Ted gonna do his thing. I would say in this case, Mike might Mike. He might Mike. Hey, what's going on? Hey,
come take a talk.
Come on, please. Hey, come on now. Hey, who's gonna win on Sunday? Yo. That's a decent automobile. Was that a Packer that just honked at us? Stay tuned to find out.
Looked gray haired, but it had a hood ornament on it, which you don't see a lot of hood ornaments at all these days.
No.
Some Benzes do, but even that, like, I mean,
a lot of them get just ripped off here in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've worn them around my neck.
It's the most ballin' shit you can do.
Ballin' as fuck.
So you
on to San Francisco, man. Let's go. Speaking of Mike McCarthy and coaching, never mind, hang on. Do you think the 49ers regret canning Jim Harbaugh?
I think it was a toxic relationship that had to end because I think Harbaugh's incompatible with a lot of people, so maybe that had to end, but I don't think they really, as much as they wanted to get rid of him, they didn't really have a great plan B.
Right. I mean, Jim Tomsula, that's...
Who? No, I'm not going to give him shit about that offensive line coach and everything, but just like, shit just seemed to crumble hard. Like
hard crumble.
Like there was so much whispering in back rooms and talking about this, which already felt like really dirty. And like if I was in the locker room,
Tomsula was at like the heart of it. Tomsula was kind of fucking Tom Dooley. He kind of engineered the shit, man. He fucking worked his way up there, man.
And then you're hemorrhaging players for like every reason on the board. I mean, like Borland and everything,
just gone.
Everything goes down. Then getting rid of players and Gore and like your identity and everything, and then you're just
Crabtree gone. And then
you're left with this team and everything in question. And then, if you haven't watched the very first press conference of Tomsula, it's just like, dude, you're a fucking NFL coach. You need to get your shit together a little bit like that. Like, we rag on Mike, but Mike is at least is like a Kurt Dad who knows he doesn't want to say that much. Tomsula he was like a inept Belichick, and it was a lot of mumbling and like not a lot of answering questions, and just like they would eat you alive, just like, well, don't do that. Just like
Childress bad? Brad Childress bad?
No, not even Childress, because Childress had like some type of bravado about him.
He had something. Oh god.
He had something else. Like, I don't know, but
okay,
things are rough in San Francisco.
Shit. Oh man, and they sure were last week.
Yep.
That was, I believe, Pro Football Focus rated Kaepernick's performance against the Cardinals as the worst of the season.
Youch.
Yowza. 4 picks, 2 of them for tutties.
Yeah.
Dang.
Just a heavy, harsh, like it's like an ant microscope, like the killing ants with the microscope. Like they're just so much finger pointing and so much scrutiny, and things are going rough, and there's not a lot of reasons for optimism. So that's when things kind of get rough, and just some.
But they got the Super Bowl there this year, so they could play in their own Super Bowl at Levi's Stadium,
or at least hang out with people who are going to the Super Bowl.
Shit!
But I mean, stopping on the San Francisco gate. And I think it's just a lot of finger pointing. Is this, the ceiling we see with Kaepernick, does his good outweigh his bad? And, what is his skill? And then there was shit talking from the Cardinals about, we basically know what they're going to run because they changed the playbook. More tailored strengths to Kaepernick's strengths. But, I mean, it just, you're in a tough spot. No game is a gimme, but I don't know, man. Like
that I mean, coming off, it's been an up and down season for Colin Kaepernick, as Brian Caribou likes to say. Love you, Brian. Against Pittsburgh, Colin looked good. Against Arizona, looked atrocious. And it was Tyrann Mathieu from Arizona who basically said, we knew what they were doing because their play calling was so simple. They have had to scale back that play calling in spite of having fucking Vernon Davis, Q Bolden. I mean, like, there's
Carlos Hyde running the rock, pretty,
goes without saying, man. Carlos, and then they lean on Carlos. Like, that's another good running back, man. There's some talent on the team. There's still some talent on the defense, but this is not your cousin's 49ers. I can't say like your granddad's.
Right, I'm trying to think. Yeah.
So like, this isn't straight up revenge for the Packers, as much as sweet as it will be, and they will. This is as sweet as it will be for the Packers to beat the 49ers. This is not Harbaugh revenge.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the team that knocked us out at this stadium or their stadium.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care in terms of like, I want the Packers to fucking just get over yet another monkey off their back in terms of Colin Kaepernick.
Yes.
And I think the Packers win this game.
It's like fucking Homer's Odyssey, man, or something. It's just, I don't know. Like, it's like a book.
I almost just gave an absurd prediction.
Do it. What's your prediction, Matty?
45-10.
That stings. That's like Belichick. Just stepping on the throat.
For real. 49ers are in disarray right now.
So you're saying no garbage time of Packers taking the foot off the gas?
I don't think they liked that a whole lot. I don't think that went over so hot. I mean, for that game on Monday was up 31-7
in the third.
And it turned, yeah, man. I mean, they got fucking 3 touchdowns in garbage time. That's more than you like. 2, maybe. 1, yeah. But like, fucking, yeah. This is gonna be a good old fashioned blowout, baby. Yeah. Bring it on, Pack.
It's supposed to be extremely hot.
Good.
Mike was talking about that. It's going to be at the temperature, like, not like, things.
It was warm here until like yesterday. So yeah.
I hope nobody, catches, extreme temperature changes on everything. Fine, I'll get to my fucking prediction. I do think, I mean, I think we can have this pretty handedly. I mean, the way we're running at a team that is, it's almost like, when someone's really mad and they're acting like they're not mad, but then you give one thing to really tick them off and they fucking explode. I feel like they're just waiting on the cusp. Like, when things start going a little wrong, things are going to go really wrong for them. So I'm going to be right in the ballpark. Fuck. I just don't see us necessarily blowing the top off of a thing. So let's go 38. A touchdown and 3 field goals. So 16. 38-16.
38-16. All right. Fair enough, man. Packers are going to win, says we. We being
Tommy Burns.
And I am Matty Day. And you were so cool to sit here and watch this whole thing tonight. Thank you so much to the listener. Tell the people what's going on. Tell the people how you feel about Live from Stadium Drive.
Stop by OutsideSlant.com.
Outside Slant. Tell them about it. Zach and the gang are doing great shit over there. And we're proud to be part of it.
So much fun. It's a great time to be a Packers fan.
It is. Fucking roll around
Spread
in
it. Enjoy it. Love it. Say your own thing. Talk shit. Don't talk shit.
Shit.
Talk spit. Take it back. Take a sit. Take a seat. Ain't got no meat. I eat veggies. What you gonna
Shit.
do? Keep it steady. Going back in slang? I like Wu-Tang.
Shit. We have been live
From Stadium Drive.
Oh.